With a frantic 911 call from Ginger Kesterson, who has just stumbled upon a horrifying scene. Her niece, Samantha, tied up and gagged. Ginger's voice shakes as she describes Samantha's panic-stricken state, while Samantha herself can barely whisper that her husband, Ernie Ibarra, has been taken by intruders. Samantha recounts the terrifying events, being dragged down the stairs and forced to watch as her husband was brutally beaten. The attackers demanded an enormous ransom, citing revenge tied to Ernie's father. A cruel act of vengeance has just unfolded.
I am hurt. I can't get to the door.
Okay, is there anybody else there?
Is anybody else here? Where are the kids? We have 5 small infants asleep, ranging from 7 to 1.
7 to 1 years old?
Yes, ma'am.
Talk to her. Is she able to speak?
Yes, ma'am. Hello?
Hi, Samantha. I know you're upset, but I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Do you need EMS?
No, they didn't do anything to me. They hit me once.
Okay, they hit you in the face?
Yeah, they had me tied up and they dragged me down the stairs to face my husband. And when my husband went in and faced me, they hit me in the face, like backhand slapped me. And so he looked at me and they said, I thought that would get your attention. And I want you to stare at this woman. Do you want us to kill her? And he said, no. And they said, then tell us the truth. And he said, I don't know anything.
I'm sorry. Can you tell me how many there were?
She said 3,
Negative.
maybe 4.
She's imagined that there were...
She said she couldn't really tell because they wrapped her by her hair and drug her into another room.
They wrapped her by her hair and drugged her into another room?
Yes, ma'am, and that's where they tied her up.
So walk me through what happened.
I don't honestly know. I was in bed asleep,
Okay.
and we heard a noise, and the second I was able to open my eyes, somebody grabbed me and jerked me out of the bed and slammed me down on the...
That 911 call hits like a punch to the gut. Ginger's voice trembling, Samantha barely able to speak. It's raw, chaotic, and terrifying. You can feel the panic as they describe a brutal home invasion, but something feels off. Why is Samantha's story so detailed yet so hard to follow? As a viewer, you're drawn in, wondering if this is a tragedy or something darker. The law's first challenge here is separating truth from fear in a high-stakes moment.
With Ernie's phone stolen, detectives struggled to track his location. Under the flashing lights of police cars, Samantha's distraught eyes hinted at a deeper, hidden truth.
Because they took his phone, but they didn't take mine. I had mine hidden.
Uh-huh.
So I was able to...
So he's got his phone?
No, they have his phone.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. What's his phone number? You don't know?
430.
You got it stored in your phone?
Yes.
Okay,
It's a
look that-
newish number. My aunt has my phone.
Huh? Well,
Like,
I need that number. Get that number from me.
The intensity escalates as Samantha reveals more disturbing details. She describes the humiliation of being forced to stand naked in front of her husband. But when she claims to have dialed 911 with her nose, the detectives raise their eyebrows in doubt. Her fragmented narrative feels inconsistent. Her shaky voice and darting eyes suggest that there's more to this story than she's letting on.
If he could come up with $20,000 in 5 minutes, they'd spare his life. And he said he couldn't get his hands on that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you know what was going on with the dad?
I have not had anything to do with his dad since me and him had our last problem.
Okay.
They said his dad narked on someone and got their man thrown behind bars. And now they were taking revenge and taking someone from him. He took someone from them, and now they're taking someone from him.
Okay.
And he said that it wasn't anything against me or the kids because we're only Ibarra by marriage. He's Ibarra by blood. And they took his ID and his wallet.
Mm-hmm. Where was that at?
It was in his truck.
Oh, it was in his truck? Okay.
Yeah, they made him tell him, I'm upstairs, I could hear him telling him. They made him tell him, they cut my shirt off. And then after, they made me stand there naked in front of him, threatening to do things to me.
Mm-hmm.
The guy said, I can't.
You were outside or here inside?
I was in the living room.
The living room?
When they took me to the living room. He said, get you a shirt and get it quick, because I'm not this type of person. So I started rummaging through my closet. He said, I said get it quick, and pushed the knife against my throat. So I just grabbed whatever shirt
Okay.
and put it on.
Okay.
But he grabbed my shirt and he started cutting it, and he cut it down the collar, and then he said,
What's your name?
Samantha
Wolfer.
Wolfer?
Where's that shirt at? Is it downstairs? What color is it?
It's gray sweater.
Gray sweater? Okay.
That's what I was sleeping in.
Okay. So you said they started cutting the sweater?
And then got tired of it and just yerked it off my head.
Okay. Did they...
Should be cut across here somewhere.
Okay. And you said they had a knife?
Yeah, to my throat.
Okay.
And they had a...
Did it seem like a large knife or what?
It was like a box cutter.
Okay. All right.
Pressed by the detectives, Samantha grows visibly frustrated. She protests her innocence, insisting she's a victim. But as detectives re-examine the scene, inconsistencies in her story begin to pile up. Why does the crime scene feel staged? Why don't the details add up? Suspicion swirls around Samantha, who seems like she's teetering on the edge of a precarious secret.
Yeah.
Assaulting her and the infant. Make sure she didn't do something to him and then stage the scene to make it look like it's all happening.
Are you guys trying to accuse me of something?
No, not right now. Have her come up here go up to the office.
The cracks in Samantha's story widen as she brings up past issues with Ernie. She mentions a time he cheated on her and an assault in 2014 that she reported to authorities. Her voice drips with resentment, but is this just a venting of bottled-up anger? Or something more sinister? To the detectives, every revelation deepens their suspicion. Samantha's demeanor shifts between anger and desperation, as if she's trying to protect herself from an unspoken truth.
Last year sometime where we all got into an argument, got into a fight. He had assaulted you, slapped the phone out of your hand, the phone line, hitting, I guess, was it the youngest one? And then the baby?
The middle one. The youngest. It was the brother to the twin. I keep wanting to say youngest because I guess that was you. I don't know. Caden, I don't keep forgetting that him.
Okay. So
he was the baby of the second set of twins.
Okay. So I remember that was kind of a rough time there when y'all were going through that when he assaulted you.
Yeah.
We got a protective order for you against him to keep him away from you and everything. So I'm guessing y'all made up with him and got back together. How long after that assault happened did y'all get back together?
A few weeks after the emergency protective order actually was lifted. In the meantime, he found out from some judge that he could call me. So he started calling me, which I told you that.
Yes,
He can continue calling me, asking what my demands were, what I had to do to even remotely have me consider him being back in the house with us. And told me to take anger management and get help. He went through all of the anger management courses. He included those on a certificate to fill them to the judge. Off and on, we Skyped, and things seemed better. And so the first time I actually went to see him, it was kind of a sporadic thing. I went to let him come out, maybe spend the night, try to get him every day, and just. So for the first 2 weeks or something, I just kind of wanted to feel out how he was acting, and then he came home.
Did y'all have any other problems going on in that time frame?
Other than just kind of, he's working 2 jobs, and that's stressful enough, and he wants to come in and gripe at me and pick at me. Just typical, nothing bad.
Is there anything else going on as far as, you said something about you thought he might be messing around on you?
He just randomly started coming home late within the last few weeks. Every day he's home late.
Well, I remember back when that assault happened back in 2014, if my memory serves me correctly, he'd been at a party or a bachelor party.
So not late like that.
Right. I mean, it was back in 2014 that he'd been at a bachelor party.
Crowded his dad's house.
Yeah, was possibly cheating on me, messing around, and that's what that argument started over. And wound up he might have assaulted me, knocking the phone out again, which in turn hit the baby. That's what all that had stemmed from. All that. Has there been anything else going on as far as anything else make you think you might be cheating?
Other than him just being home late, he gives me access to his phone, his email. He completely, I swear to God, saying there's nothing going on, but why are you home late every night?
What's your good instinct?
So far, I mean, it's back there in my mind saying that, I kind of thought that was the case, but there's no evidence to show that it was. Not like back when that happened, which, of course, after that happens, that's going to be my first shooting. He's already done it once, doing it again. But this time, I feel like there's something he hasn't been telling me, but I don't know what.
Samantha's gaze is filled with fury and a hint of despair as the detectives demand to examine her body for evidence. Feeling humiliated, she agrees to cooperate, insisting she's never touched a weapon.
Samantha's anger toward Ernie is it's all bubbling up. But her shifting demeanor, from victim to defensive, raises red flags. Detectives are picking up on it too. Cases like this, emotions can cloud truth, but they can also reveal it. Her resentment feels personal, almost too raw. Is she hiding something, or is she just broken by trauma? The legal system hinges on evidence, not feelings, and those inconsistencies are starting to stack up against her.
As detectives fire a barrage of pointed questions at Samantha, probing for inconsistencies, they zero in on details like the blood found on her clothing and potential DNA evidence, suggesting her story might not hold up. Samantha, visibly shaken, vehemently denies any involvement, but her anxious responses and unsteady demeanor betray a deeper fear. Her eyes dart around the room, as if searching for an escape from the growing suspicion.
Kidnapping him? No.
So you think, well, obviously you know Brett's boys.
I would know Brett, yes. Very well.
So you don't feel like Brett had any
problem?
What about your mom or anybody? You didn't got any problems with her?
No. They've had their little problems or whatever, but nothing that would go to this level, no.
I'm not going to find any kind of evidence to the contrary.
No.
You were involved in. What about a polygraph? Would you be willing to take a polygraph?
Yes.
To prove to me that you had no involvement, no knowledge, no nothing involved in this. Okay. And the clothing that you had on there was like, so we'll have to send your clothes to the lab, have it tested, and make sure that there's no blood on there from him. Anything that's the lab's gonna come back and say, what we found on her clothing does not match her statement of what she's saying after. That's not the case.
No, it should be fine.
Should be or will be?
I was right there, in front of him, nose to nose with him.
Right.
And they were punching him in the face with a gun.
Right. And I understand that. I mean, if you've got some blood on you from that, they'll be able to tell by the way the blood's on you. If it came in sideways, upside down, across you, whatever. Like if you two are right up here like me and you're this close together and they're punching or hitting you, the way the blood comes on someone, the way we tell the lab what this happens when they examine your clothes and look for blood, gunshot residue, anything, hairs, fibers, whatever type of evidence, when they look at your clothes, they'll be able to tell us, okay, look, this is what we found, based upon
the only type of DNA from him that should be able to be found in my clothes would be seen.
And what about the blood? How do you look close with him when they punched him?
Yes.
Okay, so you think there might be some blood on him?
Well, I didn't, inspect for splatter or anything like that. When they jerked me away from him and cut my clothes off, I never touched him.
So it's possible.
So there may be. But is it because I laid my hands on him? No, hands were tied behind my back. And I'm watching this guy punch him in the face with a gun over and over.
How did it make you feel?
Horrible. I was hysterically bawling.
When detectives suddenly mention the possibility that Ernie might be dead, Samantha freezes, her face pale with shock. Tears stream down her cheeks as she prays he's still alive. The detectives push harder, emphasizing that evidence from the scene doesn't align with her story. Samantha's trembling voice cracks under the pressure, and the room feels like it's on the verge of uncovering a buried truth.
Now, when they cut your shirt off, was it violent, or they just
Yes.
took their time?
No, they jerked it out and started slashing at it with this apparently dull box cutter, and when it didn't work, ripped it off over my head and threw it to the side.
So it wasn't completely cut in half.
No, they started cutting like they were going to cut it down or across, and the blade wasn't working, so they said, and ripped it off over my head.
But as far as tonight, you had nothing to do with
No.
this. You don't know who did it.
No.
You're positive about that.
Yes.
So, look me in the face. I need to know the truth. Did you have anything to do with Ernie's disappearance?
No.
Did you have anything to do with his death?
No. Dead. He's dead?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Yes, if he is dead, no.
Do you think he's alive?
I hope so.
Did you have anything to do with it?
No.
You had nothing to do with his disappearance? Nothing. If God forbid he is found deceased, did you have anything to do with it?
No.
Did you hire someone to do it?
No.
You had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with it.
But might be protecting someone. Samantha, visibly cornered, finally reveals a name, John Rebel. She describes his suspicious behavior and expresses fear for her safety and that of her children. The revelation shifts the case into a new direction, but Samantha's fear-laden voice casts doubt over her complete honesty.
I think there's more to this than you tell us. I'm not saying you're a complete liar and you fabricated the whole thing. You could have. I'm not saying you did. This is what I'm saying. You've got a chance to tell us right now and be the hero in this deal. I think there's more. I've done this a long time. I'm reading your body language. We're going to piece this thing together. Listen, Sam.
And I'll help every way I can.
Mm-hmm.
I'll help every way I can.
I just think there's still something that you probably know that you're not telling us. And that does not make you guilty. That does not make you, if he's dead, it does not make you a murderer. But you've got to understand, you've got children. And I don't want to see all of a sudden we find him, let's say that he's dead. Let's hope he's alive. But then all of a sudden we find out your story that you knew something, and then the issues of warrant. Guess what? It's going to be at least 20 years before you can be able to touch your kids again. They'll have grandchildren. You'll have grandchildren before you even get to touch them. They won't let you do when you get a murder charge. They ain't going to touch your people in prison.
I didn't kill him.
Well, but that's the thing. You don't have to kill him. I don't think you did. I'm going to tell you right now.
None of my problems. I have not touched him.
I know, Sam, I believe you. Here's my problem. Your story's not matching. I think you could be the hero and help us solve this thing quick.
If there's anything I can do, if I can ride in the vehicle with you and go to wherever it is his cell phone thing, I will go and I will help everybody I can.
Now, we have to, all it does is gives us a general area, and then we got to find him.
And I will help any way I can. If
right
it's an
now,
area I
we've got
know.
the general area.
If it's an area I know, then I might possibly have.
Well, I can't do that though, because then if you were there, then it could taint our crime scene. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I'm just telling you, if it's an area that I possibly know, that I might have some idea.
And this is why, and Sam, I'm not in here trying to stress you out, get you to confess something you didn't do. That is not what I'm trying to do, and I would never want you to do that. I personally do not think you hurt this young man.
They said a name, and that's the only name I know.
Okay. I'm just thinking there's probably something here, because this just ain't normal that happens around here. This stuff at the house, the blood being in his truck. I just have a funny feeling that there's something you're not telling me that you could tell me, and you're afraid it's going to make you look guilty. And it's not, unless you did it, and I don't think you did it. Now, Sam, won't you talk to me now? What is it that you're scared that you're not telling me? There's something.
I'm scared that y'all are going to try and find me guilty for this.
No.
All I am is
you know what?
a living way.
But you know what? Here's the thing,
I'm
Sam.
scared that y'all are
No, I don't want to find you guilty. I want to prove you innocent. I want to prove you guilty.
Samantha continues to unravel, naming another suspect, Tay Rhymes. She recalls a recent encounter at a hospital where John made veiled threats about Ernie. Detectives latch onto her confession, preparing to act on the new leads. Samantha's mounting anxiety leaves lingering questions. Is she truly a victim, or is she hiding something more sinister?
I think you know exactly who did this, and I think you're scared. And that's what I'm trying to beat into your head. Don't let fear keep you from telling the truth. Because just if you knew these guys that did it, you know why they did it, does not make you guilty. But what's going to make you guilty is when we prove that you lied to us in here.
But if that is the case, then I do know who did it and why they did it.
Okay.
Doesn't that make me like an accomplice?
Nope. Okay. See, I knew. And you know, Sam, you know I'm not here lying to you. You know I know.
The only other thing I know, I don't even know if I know,
okay.
But it's suspicious.
Okay.
I've been up at the hospital with my friend Charlotte.
Okay.
She's got a guy there, and I swear to God, I cannot go up there that I said any of this.
Okay.
Because they have a lot of friends around here, and my life will be in a lot of danger.
Okay.
But the only other thing I know is venting to her and talking to her about problems. Like I just told you, I have a problem with talking to my friends about our problems.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have many of them. So when I do get with one of my friends, I want to talk about any problems we might have had. And honestly, lately, it hasn't been many.
Okay.
We have had problems in the house, and I haven't seen Charlotte in a long time.
Okay, come on with it.
And she's got this guy in the room with her, and he gets to talking about how a man shouldn't treat a woman that way, and how you don't do those things to a person. Okay. And he's going to deal with the situation.
Acting on Samantha's testimony, police move quickly to apprehend John Rebel and Tay Rhymes. Both suspects are taken into custody.
When Samantha names John and Tay, it's a goot-wrenching twist. Is she genuinely scared for her life? Or is this a calculated move to shift blame? Her fear feels real, but her story keeps unraveling. In court, this moment would be pivotal. Naming. Accomplices can make or break a case. Can't help but wonder, is she a victim fighting for her kids? Or a manipulator pulling strings? The truth is slipping through the cracks, and it's heartbreaking to watch.
Sanford, his voice a mix of anger and defensiveness, begins recounting the events of that day. He insists he never intended to kill Ernie, but admits to participating in a plan to teach him a lesson. His disdain for men who mistreat women is evident, especially as he describes Samantha's frustration and her comments about wanting someone to deal with Ernie. While Sanford's story initially sounds innocent, his vague statements like, "If it were me, I'd handle it," reveal he knows more than he's letting on.
Shows that he only called one time at 12 something, and then another time at 5 something. Both times she answered the phone. So he had an attitude, do it as he fit, and she said, "Well, he's all mad. Woo, told me this, that." I said, "Well, look," I said, "it's like this. I just met you. I don't know too much about you, but you're one of my ex's best friends. I'm here to help my homegirl out, because really she's just a real close friend, like a little sister to me. She didn't have nobody there to help her. Her mom loves me to death, and that's about the only thing she could get." Well, I told her, I said, "Look, if I ain't even gonna lie, if I see you tomorrow with bruises," because by this time she had offered me to use her vehicle to take Charlotte home. And I told her, I said, "If for any reason I see bruises on you, and I can tell the difference between I slipped and fell bruise to I got the shit beat out of me." And I told her, I said, I'm gonna beat the shit out of them regardless. I don't care. That's just me. That's how I am.
Right.
She told me, well, she did say that there's been times it's crossed her mind to do stupid shit, this and that.
Like what?
Like, basically, like, get somebody to fuck them off. Like, not kill them, but like just beat the shit out of them, set them up, shit like that, right? And I told her, I said, "Well, damn." I said, "You're talking to somebody that could do that," but I wasn't going to, though.
Okay, now explain, what were they telling you then that y'all was going to do and why?
Supposedly, from what I understood, supposedly we were going out here. All I was supposed to do was pull up, sit outside. They were going to go in, supposedly rough the dude up, This is what I was being told, but at the same time, I keep getting, and don't forget, you got a newborn baby you're looking after, blah, 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 this and that.
As the
right?
story unfolds,
So,
Sanford describes the chaos inside the house. Jojo, described as volatile and unpredictable, lost control and viciously beat Ernie right in front of Samantha. Sanford, who claimed he was only observing, was forced to guide the group through the house due to his familiarity with its layout. As detectives listen closely, they notice how Sanford shifts between blaming Jojo and downplaying his own involvement, painting a picture of a man struggling to distance himself from the crime.
Then when we got back to the house, Tay told JoJo, because JoJo, first time meeting her, ain't never met her a day before. Him and Tay talked. Then I guess JoJo just
snapped.
Yeah, because he does do that quite easily.
They gonna have his blood on him?
That I don't know.
Okay.
But I can walk up.
Well, we will take you there in a minute. You want to go with us over here? But first, let's finish the story. What happened then?
Okay. They go in. I'm the only person that knows the layout of the house. So JoJo asked me, like, where they sleep at? I'm like, man, I don't know. That's where I get caught in the ear. So I'm like, man, fuck. I'm like, man, look, come on. And I just walked up, stopped, and told him, man, look, upstairs. I'm like, kids are up there too, though. Because the kids' room is upstairs also. They go up. I have to go up in the minute. JoJo, me, and then the last dude. We go up. Go up. Then JoJo sits there. And that's when all hell breaks loose. Beat the living hell out the dude. Honestly, me personally, I do not believe Samantha really had a hand in playing it. I think that what she was saying just kind of got too far.
Okay, so what happened? Who beat the hell out of him?
JoJo and the other guy.
Okay. That's matching out. I'm gonna tell you in a minute. Let me tell you what she said in a minute, because she definitely ID'd you was there. She knew JoJo. She said it was definitely JoJo. She did not know this other guy. That's what she said. I don't know if she's lying or not. She said she does not know him, but she definitely knew it was you, and she knew it was JoJo.
And then on that too, I was the only.
So what happened then? After they beat the hell out of him upstairs, then what happened?
He got drugged downstairs, got put next to the door. The other dude was upstairs, brought her down. No, okay. They brought her down first. He did. The other guy brought her down first. Then JoJo made me come down. Dude came down, and he came down. The whole time he's got the gun to the dude's head. They come down.
Sanford recounts the chilling moment when JoJo and another accomplice tied Ernie up, wrapped him in a blanket, and carried him out to the truck. Sanford claims he didn't expect things to escalate this far, but admits feeling a growing sense of dread as they drove deep into the countryside. While Sanford repeatedly asserts he was just following orders, the detectives recognize his dual role, simultaneously trying to feign innocence while inadvertently revealing crucial details.
Ever done roofing before? It looked like a cloth mailbag almost. They wrapped that around his face. This dude's head split, nose broke, jaw, and he busted. They wrapped that around him.
Did you think then at that point that this was going to kill him?
At that point, I honestly didn't think they were.
Okay, well go ahead.
They wrap him up. They take the blanket, wrap it around him. And at this point is when I started thinking, damn, what the fuck's really going on? Because they put the dude in the back seat
of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the blood in there.
And I'm sitting there thinking,
which side? Passenger side or passenger side, back seat?
That's probably about to happen because I think you're a liar.
I don't give
You've
a
got
damn.
the freaking box. You've got the dead gun.
Where'd the gun go then? I don't know.
So why'd you get the box? No, you know.
I guess when you go
keep
in,
yelling at me all you want because I don't know where the fucking gun's at.
I'll get a transport unit for her.
Okay, get a transport unit. She'll be charged with murder too.
I don't give a goddamn because I don't know where the fucking gun's at.
I don't care if you give a god whatever.
Yeah, go ahead and say it.
Nah, I'm not going to use force name and thing.
The police raid Pono's girlfriend Lona Slatton's house, and the tension rises as she reluctantly agrees to let them search. All eyes turn to the toolbox, where the gun might be hidden, but when they open it, it's empty. The silence in the house is suffocating, broken only by Lona's stunned gaze. The police immediately shift gears, starting a more thorough search, determined to find the crucial evidence.
I don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah, oh yeah, you know what's going on. You said there's a murder, then you got the freaking.
Because I asked the motherfucker about why the fuck they had him in the fucking car and what was going on. My grandpa was standing right beside me. Was it you I talked to, or was it somebody else?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the smart.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, you remember enough to come home and get that box, that gun in it, don't you?
No, I remember to come home and check the fucking box.
So the gun's not in the tent?
I don't know. Go check the fucking tent. I don't know.
Is it okay if I check the tent?
Yes, it is okay.
Okay. And where's it at?
Right behind the house.
Okay. All right.
Get your on.
Yeah, it's on.
I don't think we're gonna find it. Because I truly think she's probably getting that gun somewhere.
There you go, right there, I bet you. See the dope or the gun. Gun. Well, I can take
these video and show where it was at.
I can take one with this. It's got a picture deal on there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I don't think that's what I'm still lock her up. That's what you said. Well, we need him. Get his name. Like, well, take his information.
Yeah, I'll grab something here in just a second.
I can honestly say
she was here last night. She got her head.
Oh, I ain't accused her of killing him. I'm accused her having his gun.
Why the hell would I tell you to go look in the tent?
It wasn't in the tent.
Well, I don't know where the.
All we want is the truth.
Man, I'm telling you, all I know is the guy told me that they were suspects in a murder case. The first thing that popped in my head was that fucking gun. It was not in the fucking box where it was always at, and I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I want to fucking know.
Okay, well, just like the other officer told you, we're investigating a murder. All right? There was a guy killed last night. He was executed. All we want is your cooperation. Right now, you're not a suspect in this murder. All right?
I'm just saying, it's fucking stupid.
What is stupid?
Heavy footsteps echo as the police focus their attention on the crawl space beneath the house. The tension is palpable, as if the gun could be hiding there. And they were right. The gun is found, carefully concealed under the house, matching the weapon used in the murder. This discovery not only solidifies the case, but also makes it clear that someone has been trying to cover up the truth. Lona, standing by, is paralyzed with fear and confusion.
Finding that gun under the house is a chilling breakthrough. It's not just evidence, it's a symbol of betrayal. Lona's stunned silence screams guilt by association, but it's Samantha's shadow looming over this. The law now has a murder weapon tying the suspects together. You feel the weight of justice closing in, but also the tragedy of a family torn apart. So how does a mother of 5 get to this point? It's a question that haunts you as the case unfolds.
He denies any involvement, but his shaky voice and evasive eyes betray his calm facade. Pressed by detectives, Pono finally admits that Jonathan hid the gun under the house. He begins to recount the chilling details of the plan, from Samantha masterminding the entire operation to the specific actions of each member of the group. Every word Pono speaks feels like a knife, exposing the role each person played in the crime.
You found it, which is in a spot that Jonathan hid it.
Jonathan put it there? Seriously?
Yes.
Where did he put it? I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you.
So in the back of the house, but underneath the house?
Yeah. That's it. And you saw him do it?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, let's go through this. What I need to do, I've got Samantha's version.
Samantha is the ringleader. Samantha is the one, and I can prove this. If you don't believe me, as God is my witness, all you have to do, you can take you and 15 of the officers, I don't care. Take me in front of my wife, and my wife will tell you a piece of what she overheard.
Well, now, I've actually kind of heard.
And my wife will tell you, she's the one who orchestrated it. All of a sudden, I love there's 7 or 8 at last night. They showed back up. This time, they showed up with Octavius, Jonathan, Samantha, and her kids. They stayed at the house probably about an hour or 2. Well, Jonathan pulls me to the side. Say, cuz, I need to talk to you. I don't know what's up. He's like, look, old girl, talking about Samantha. He said, Samantha wants us to, do something. I said, wait. Samantha wants you to do something. What do you want me to do? Talking about him. He said, I just need your help. He said, it's a 3-man job. I said, okay, well, what is it? He said, look, I've already got, and I put this on my life, on my son's life. I've already got the layout of the whole house.
Pono reveals that Samantha was the one who orchestrated the entire plan. According to him, Samantha used her story of Ernie's abuse to manipulate the group into carrying out the murder. Jonathan led the operation, with Pono acting as the lookout. But Pono's testimony reveals more than just a simple bystander role. His detailed knowledge of the plan makes his involvement undeniable. Detectives sense that he's trying to shift the blame to Samantha, but they're not easily fooled.
The place. All of a sudden, he tells me, he said, look, I just need you to stand guard. He said, the way it's going to happen, he said, we're going to go in quietly. We're going to go upstairs. He said, whatever side she's laying on, Tay, which is Tay Rhymes, he's going to go over there and he's standing. He said, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to stand by him. He said, all I need you to do is just stand guard and make sure that he doesn't try to grab a weapon or anything and try to use it. I said, all right, cool. Well, he said, he said, we're going to, basically, he said, beat him up a little bit, whatever, tie him up. He said, and take him for a ride with us. I said, okay. All right. Well, all of a sudden, we stopped talking about it.
Instead of shielding anyone, Ponce is bringing everyone down with him, even Samantha.
How did you get in? The door was unlocked.
There was no forceful entry.
Okay, you didn't use a key to unlock it?
I didn't. I never touched that door. I didn't even know I didn't even know the girl. I didn't even know where she lived or anything. I didn't know what the hell I was walking into when I walked in the house. So that's why I was the third guy in.
So you just thought they was going to go in there and just slap him around with his bad.
Yeah, because she's the one who told him, and I quote, he beats on the kids, he beats on me, and this and that, he treats me like shit, and da-da-da. So Jonathan took that as in consideration to, like I said, I thought slap him around, beat him up. When he got up to the door, he said, and he reached down, like I said, I don't know if he had a key or not. All I know...
You're talking about the front door, not the bedroom door. You're talking about the front door.
The front door, yes, sir. Okay. I don't know if he had a key or not. All I know is the front door come open. He walks in real light and slow. Tay walks in behind him, which is Octavius Rounds. I walked in behind him. I had my flashlight looking to make sure I know, because like I said, I didn't know what the hell I was walking into. At first, I didn't want to get tail out the car with that big ass dog that sits on the porch.
Yeah.
And So I was like, okay. I was like, so we get in. All of a sudden,
Pono continues, describing how Jonathan used a hammer to threaten and beat Ernie before dragging him down the stairs and tying him up. The vivid details make the whole room fall silent. Pono insists he was just a witness, but his deep knowledge of the plan makes that hard to believe. The detective's sharp eyes don't miss a beat. They know he's far more involved than he's letting on.
We'll go through I guess a dining room or whatever. We take a rock and go through the kitchen. We'll take another rock and hit the stairs right there. Jonathan, the first one up. Before Jonathan went up, right by the bed, right beside the bed on the floor, on the bed that he laid on, or the side that he was laying on the floor. Did you see a big old, just like a big claw hammer or something there?
I didn't, because I didn't go into work for crime scene. I was out chasing down Jonathan and finding him.
Okay, well, there was a big claw hammer that should have been found right there on the floor. It wasn't used or anything. It wasn't used. I'm saying it was right there on the floor. It was not there to begin with. It was downstairs by the stairs. Jonathan picked it up, walks upstairs, the little spiral staircase. He goes up. All of a sudden, when he gets off the staircase onto the floor, he's bending down like this. He's bending down like this. Tay gets over the bottom. He's bending down like this. I'm still up on the top of the staircase, but not quite on the floor yet. But I'm right there, and he looks at me, goes like this. I walk up, I get up off the stairs and get up on the floor where he's at. And I bend down. And all of a sudden, we ease up over there. They realize who was laying where. Like I said, Octavius goes over there where she's at. He goes over here. I'm just standing guard. About this time, he puts the claw hammer down on the floor. He reaches over. And yanks him out the bed. About that time, Octavius yanks her out the bed. Remind you, she's in on this whole thing the entire time. She knows about it. And I'll take a polygraph.
Would you?
What, to prove that she was in on it? Yeah.
Okay. We'll give you one. Heck yeah. Because that will help us prove that she did it, that she was in on it. Darn right.
And all of a sudden, he says, what the fuck? And he's wrestling, trying to get up off the floor real quick. By the time Jonathan reaches down, like I said, I'm just standing there watching, making sure, you know what I'm saying?
Cold-heartedness turned this into a horrific tragedy. The detectives pieced together Pono's testimony with the evidence, closing the case with harsh sentences. Samantha is sentenced to 99 years in prison for the murder, while Jonathan and Pono each receive 50 years. Octavius is sentenced to 93 years. All of them pay the price for one night of violence and betrayal, with Samantha at the center.
I'll tell you something. I actually probably believe you more than Jonathan is that better?
Yes, sir.
Jonathan is really putting this whole thing on you. He said that you're the one that was beating you. He said you're the one that fired the shot, and said that you're the one that wanted to go in there, and he kept saying that you were saying something about his daddy. About maybe his daddy had a bad dope deal that went bad.
I don't even know his dad. Matter of fact, I specifically told them when she told me who her husband was, right there in Octavius' house. Mm-hmm. When she told me his name, I told her. I don't even know who they are. I don't even know him. I don't even know his dad. I've never met the kid before in my life. Never. Just like her. I met her one time and it was yesterday. Right there in the hospital parking lot. And then I seen her again last night at Octavius' house.
And why, just flat out, why again do you think this happened?
Because according to her, or according to what I was being told, because she was tired of being treated, mistreated, and beat on and everything. That's exactly what I was told. By Jonathan Sanford.
Okay. Last name spelled S-L-A-T-O-N.
And she heard her say specifically that she is an actress. She can make anybody believe what she wants.
Yeah, and he said some stuff here. He said some stuff here that I'm not going to mention. That way, if she says some stuff, I can confirm it with what he said. So, he's saying that
Pono's final confessions bring everything to light, but they can't erase the horror of it all. Samantha, once a young mother, transformed into a ruthless mastermind, dragging 3 men into a spiral of crime and destruction. The final moments of the video leave a chilling feeling.
Samantha's 99-year sentence hits harder, mother-turned-monster. Her bitterness fueled a plan that destroyed lives, including her own kids. The legal system delivered justice, but nothing erases the horror. Pono, Jonathan, Octavius, they all played a part, but Samantha's cold calculation stands out. It's a stark reminder. Hatred can twist anyone into someone unrecognizable. You're left wondering how far resentment can push a person, and it's a tragedy that lingers long. After the verdict,